So you're live?
We are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably watch my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
Jesse, this show would be good if you just don't say anything.
Just shut up.
Yeah.
Or I'll just go on the live. I'll just text. I mean, I'm good at that part.
Well, welcome back to the 2024 Magic City Car and Trade Show. You kind of get the inside of what we talk about here.
A whole lot.
A whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
Joined this time, we just had the girls on, the future lady racers of America. That was quite the interesting half hour or so. This time I'm joined by Gabe Deschamp to my right, Jesse Long, and Justin Medler back as part of our Dirt Weekly entourage.
I'm almost like a veteran.
You're almost a veteran of this deal.
Yeah. Wow. Of racing here.
Second car show as Nodak Speedway president. What are you thinking so far today?
Well, I thought last year was pretty good, but this year's looking even better.
Way better than the previous president.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
Somebody, calm down.
I don't know. I think you filled the house a little better than the future, right? Or the past ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Somebody told you that yesterday. You hear them?
What'd they say?
Did
That
you ever?
you did a better job than me?
Yeah.
Did you ever
Absolutely.
get three buildings open?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
2 years okay.
Yeah, but your problem is you could never get the weather to be right.
We had weather, we had all kinds of stuff, but in 2 years we merged, or we didn't merge. We worked with the flat track, so we had drag cars in here a couple years, and we had the rooms full, and we had the 3-room deal going on at that time too. But it was more drag cars than race cars because it was earlier in the year,
Right.
and there wasn't as many race cars done.
I think it's yeah.
How much does this help having it in April?
Let's say
Would you have had your car done in February?
Depends on which car. I could probably make it work, but
I don't,
it'd be
we
pretty
weren't even
hard.
back by February.
Yeah,
was
we
right
weren't
after.
even. Yeah, but he was.
You came home.
Yeah.
You came home a week before us.
But how about this? How many times have you had a car in a show?
First time.
Never.
First time.
Yeah.
Too. That's why I was kind of running through this race car deal. We're missing quite a few that we had last year, and then we got a lot of new ones.
Yeah, but I think it's a cycle.
You're right.
I think it's a cycle. People get their cars ready. We've had a Wayne Johnson car in here for the last several years, and we don't have it now.
Right.
He doesn't have a car.
I don't know. I think last year was the first time in a long time.
That he had a car? No,
Yeah, I think
he had one in the year
Year
before.
before you did. 2 years straight. I think
That was
you had
for
one.
sale.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
maybe. Maybe. Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
I can't even remember last night. Did we do a
know.
show?
We did a show last
Oh.
night.
We know why.
That's why I don't have to remember anything. It's on the internet.
Yep.
You can go back and watch it.
The truth be told.
Do you watch the Dirt Weekly?
I do.
What's wrong with you?
Well, doing homework, set the
Yeah.
Dirt Weekly off the side. I mean, it's entertaining.
Yeah, right. We could probably do your homework.
We were teaching everybody about banking. Like, we were financial advisors for almost 2 episodes. Did
Yeah,
you
I
learn
listened to
anything?
that.
Did you learn anything financially from us?
Some bad financial how to get a loan for a race car.
Hey, at
Business
one ti-
major.
At one time, I was the guy that had the 2 new cars sitting in the
Yeah.
show. But I think you guys are on a different financial thing. I don't think you're doing what I'm doing or was doing.
They're
was-
using legit cash.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
He was using car titles to get loans,
I just start
And
businesses.
and you guys work hard.
Hey, I was working hard to keeping track of what I got going on here.
Yeah. Razor helped
you
out
are
a
a
little
bit-
bit with that one, so.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. That's
What?
why there's a car.
Yeah, and I can't. Victory used to really help
you out a
big
ton.
time.
Yeah.
Big time.
No, Razor's
Yeah.
been really good for us, so.
Yeah, when you start winning races, it's funny what you can
Yeah.
get worked up, but you got to win. It's always
Yeah.
It's always goofy when you're struggling. You can't get too many people to help you. Well, you start winning a little bit.
And everybody's your best friend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even Robbie.
Give us the Sport Compact thing, and we'll run through it here real fast.
We
are
are.
live.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, I thought you were live.
Bring that Sport Compact stuff over.
No, we're going to talk about it,
I
though.
might.
Hey, do your
I can't
little-
even
do
race
your
my
little
own car.
pitch.
How am I
Yep.
going to race that?
Okay. So we got, I think, only 4 tickets left for the Sport Compact. Oh, yeah. There we go.
See how that works there?
Yeah.
I put it up there, and
Yep.
Yeah, you see, I was
Fancy.
over here going.
he's over here going, "Ah." And then you try to point to cars
Yeah.
behind you. Gabe's car's over here.
4.
Four.
Is that?
I think that's the last of them.
That's all we got.
Right. That's what we
4
just said.
tickets left. How much are they? We got it on there.
$50.
$50 a ticket. Only 4 left. Only 100 tickets sold.
And I'm not going to win it.
And Robbie Roselli says he's not going to win it because he probably hasn't bought it.
You're not going to buy one?
It wouldn't look good.
No, you'd look perfect in one.
Give you a chance.
I'd have a better chance if you go in a sport compact and get out of the sport mod.
Oh, yeah.
You could race both.
Yeah, compact and sport mod.
Hey, I spun Craig's out when I was there that year.
You can
That is.
spin those out?
Yeah, you
So
can
come-
loop them.
Come down to the car show. We're open until 6 today.
Yep.
Tomorrow you're going to be selling, if you have Lenny left, you're going to be selling them tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah. I hope
Opens
they're-
at 10 a.m. We hope
Right.
they're all gone today. $50 a ticket. Only 100 sold. You can have a turnkey, race-ready sport compact. All you need is a seat, or is it going to come with a seat?
No, you have to get a seat, but Yost,
We will help you out with a
Yeah.
seat
Yeah. And then
because
I
we
think,
never know how big the person is. That's
Variety.
Gonna get variety.
Yeah, yep.
So
I mean, I fit in a 15-inch. So.
You do not.
I thought it was 14.
Yeah.
I'm smaller and I barely fit in a 17.
I have to be in a 15 to drive
Gabe's
a stock
over
car.
here going, I'm
16.
a call.
16. We're
16?
moving,
Oh, you moved
Yep.
up a little bit.
getting
I've always
closer.
ran a 16.
Growing
Oh.
up in the world.
So your dad lied. Because he said 15 on that
Yeah,
dirt
Bo's
weekend.
always, it's a
Yeah,
15.
jeez.
He's just trying to scare you. He doesn't want you to try.
I think me and him would make a pretty good race team.
He's pretty fun on Snapchat.
I don't think we need a big trophy case, but we'll have a lot of followers.
Oh, yeah.
The car is here, too, for the
Yep.
Sport Compact raffle. The car is here.
Here, take it home tomorrow.
Take it home after the show tomorrow. Take it to your garage. It comes with support. It comes with
Yep.
Chris Yost supporting it. So if you have any issues with it or any problems, he'll be there to help you.
It's a pretty good deal for
Other
the
news
race.
in the compact world.
Oh, yeah.
There has been a late-breaking Robbie Roselli working on a title sponsor for the Sport Compact Series that we broke the other night on the Dirt Weekly, I think about a week ago. 4 nights at every track. Mandan, Underwood, Minot, Botno. You have to race 4 nights at every track, and there's a $3,500
Purse.
points fund.
Yeah.
And the points fund doesn't go to who's leading points, whatever. Call it traveling fund. It's divided up equally between the drivers that are attending 4 nights at every one of them racetracks. So if 10 do it, $350 each. Easy math. I don't even have to go to college for that math.
Nope.
Now, if 12 do it, how much is it?
$275.
No, you go 5. That'd be 700.
That's good money right there.
Right.
No, but he's going to get non-college math. I wanted you college kid to start figuring out math.
I just know how to fly the airplanes.
Oh,
that's my math.
Oh, but Benco and Auto Value parts stores of Bismarck and Minot, or is there and Botno and Mandan, Auto Value and Benco. Benco's in Bismarck. They are the sister company to Auto Value, and Auto Value of Minot, Botno, Bismarck, and Mandan are putting up the extra money. Each racetrack puts in $500, and they put in another $1,500 to make $3,500. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Good
Isn't it?
money.
Good money for sport compacts. For an entry-level class, trying to get them to – you're going to hold them up like Vanna White?
I think it's, sure.
Are they
Backwards. Oh, sideways.
– oh, my goodness.
I'm not a very
Can't-
good Vanna White.
Vanna Long. There you go.
You have to run these on your car, right? And
You have
pick
to
them
run
up.
these – you have
So-
to pick these stickers up at the track that you go to.
Right.
And they'll be there, and you have to run them on the side of your car in order to be eligible for the money.
Great deal.
And it's only for sport compacts. We can't run it.
Only for sport compacts.
There's some big money.
I muted you
That-
there.
right.
We didn't need to hear that
So
conversation.
you in this car for $50 and do all 4 nights, and
You could come out ahead.
Yeah.
4
can
nights
make
at
money.
each track.
Yeah.
You're going to make money.
how about the compact class?
11 of them?
here.
11
Yeah.
sport compacts here, 12 with that one.
Right.
They're growing. They're kind of fun to watch. I don't know.
A lot of classes are growing this year. Sport
Yes.
mods, stock cars.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I think we're gonna have some big car count again.
Some
Yeah.
B mods, some B mains running around for every
Excited
Sunday.
and nervous.
Small said it'll start 30, so he
Oh,
doesn't have
boy.
to have a B main.
Pay 24 though.
Pay 24, so the last 6 don't even get paid.
Where are you cutting it off for cautions?
Oh, I'll tell you when.
I need at least 4.
You just stay in the trailer.
I'll just stay on the front straightaway. It's probably better for me.
Yeah.
So
Up
with,
on the stand, not down on the track.
so with
Oh,
Gabe
yeah.
joining us today, bring you on because you kind of had a breakout year last year.
Yeah, we had a really good year.
You kind of came out of the gate. You didn't kind of come out of the gate. You came out of the gate hot with winning in Estevan. How many did you win in a row to start the year up here?
4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
2 in Estevan, Mina, Botno.
Mm-hmm.
And Botno being your home track,
Yep.
you gave up 2 feature wins in Estevan to support Botno
Yep.
on their deal. So you couldn't run for a championship in Estevan, but super successful up there
Yep.
when you were up there.
Won the first 3, and then we kind of, the 4th and 5th night kind of had some rear end issues, but figured that out, and I'm excited that they're not going to be conflicting with Botno, so might be up there more.
So now you're able to participate in both.
Did you guys run both cars in Estevan too then?
Some nights we did. Some nights it was just sport mod.
Yeah. A 2-car deal,
It's a lot.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
You
You need to have everything ready by the time you show up at the track.
You have a pretty big crew, though, that helps you out. You have quite a bit of following.
Only problem is they're a young crew, but 14, 16-year-olds.
That's probably the best. I mean, when I was 14, I could do a lot. Now I don't want to do
When you
anything.
get 40 like me, you don't even want to bend over.
Yeah.
That's
No, they're hard workers. They just get distracted sometimes, but
Nobody wants you to bend over
I
either,
don't know.
Jesse.
I'm
Well,
30.
kneel down.
I'm 34. I still get distracted.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tough when they're younger, but you guys keep them on the straight and narrow. I mean,
yeah.
but everybody has fun. Anytime you go by the Deschamps pit,
Right.
there's fun being had.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Just remember, we give out the family award at Nodak.
Yeah.
the family
And
award.
the whole family's there.
Deschamps bring the biggest one.
You guys had a pretty big table at the banquet.
Yeah. That was good.
What would you bring down Arizona? You brought down. There was 6 of you, wasn't there?
Yeah, we have a great crew, and I have a buddy, Jacob Rudwick, from went to school with him. He's still in high school, but we flew him out to Vegas and Arizona.
Really?
Oh, he's a great worker.
That is good.
Yeah.
That's what we need in this sport. Young people get involved.
Oh,
yeah, maybe he'll get a hobby stock or something.
Yeah, he's a big derby guy. It'd
Derby
be hard
guy.
to convince him, but
We don't need hobby stocks turning into derbies.
Yeah, just tell him you
Gabe's
can't
thinking,
smash.
don't give my crew.
yeah,
guy-
don't
Oh,
get my
yeah.
crew. He's good. I
That's
want to
what-
keep him.
That's what happened to me. I lost my crew guy to a race card.
Mhm.
Now
It
he's
hurts.
now he's dominating you.
No, I don't even race against him.
Well, if you were,
Gee, get in the game.
come on now.
He's only ever beat me twice. Ever.
Ever?
And that was 3 years ago.
So
2 years ago.
You came out of the gate strong. You had a solid Tougher Than Dirt Tour, winning the Tougher Than Dirt Tour Sport Mod Championship. First one of them. Was that a big deal?
Oh, huge deal for me. That was only the second time running the full tour. I mean, our goal was just to finish top 5. I mean, we thought we had a chance at it, but after the first night, we thought, wow, we could actually have a real chance at
Right.
it. So,
What do you think of the Tougher and Dirt Tour? I mean, is that something you look forward to? You like doing the tour stuff?
love
Or-
the tour.
Is
Yeah,
it-
I mean,
that's-
6
Is it
full
nice because
nights.
you can concentrate on one car at a time? So
Yeah.
you do the Sport Mod, the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, and then do the stock car on the Mod Tour.
Yeah, I mean, after running 2 cars one night, one car feels like a day off. I mean,
Right.
yeah, no switching back and forth, and I had a lot of fun racing the Medler too. That was
Yeah.
God, I thought I was done coming to the last night, to be honest.
He failed big time that night.
Yeah, we've never got him on here. See, where's he at? He needs to be sitting here so we can talk about that night.
Because
Yeah.
he did not. I think he drove around in like 16th the whole time. Like, it was not the.
I mean, no cautions. That was tough too.
It was
two weekends in a row you guys did that.
Yeah.
Well, we had
crazy.
one.
It was a
one
big
win.
topic of the Dirt Weekly that
Right.
week, because I think everybody picked Darren going into that deal because of
Yeah.
his experience.
Right.
Nothing against you, but
Oh,
you're
no.
still a young driver. But we picked Darren because of his experience at Nodak, his championship experience, being able to do that. And all of it,
He just doesn't. Yeah.
laid an egg.
And he's like you. You guys just don't have really off nights. I mean,
Right, but that was a completely off night.
Yeah.
For him.
Well, a little story about the Tougher Than Dirt. Early on, I thought those were the tracks I was going to struggle with. Williston, Dickinson,
Yeah, because
tracks I never raced.
Right.
And then I did really well, and I hit the wall in Dickinson hard, knocked the rear end over 4 inches, but we made it through that, and I was coming to Bodno and Mina, and I thought those were going to be my great tracks, and I was racing against Chase, and I just barely tapped him. I was racing hard, trying to get underneath him, and then he flipped me off. And my headspace, I drove like crap the rest of the race. And then I got out. I'm like, Dad, Chase is mad at me. He's like, oh, no, he was messing with you.
Right.
And then I came like, God, I just lost the tour. Like, and then he was 4 points ahead, and I talked to Medler, and he's like, well, I was like, I haven't been racing good in mine. And I'm like, so I might have a chance. But,
Yeah. Well, you were able to pull it off.
yeah.
Yeah, but go back to opening night. So Darren shows up to Underwood with an open motor. Nobody knows. It is a last-minute decision. Somebody gave him an open motor, gets there, doesn't even run.
Yep. We
Then-
set the lifters on
Right.
it. Yep.
So he doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to fix it. Then you guys could have been like, nah, we ain't helping you. But you help them.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's how the tour starts. So
Yep.
Yeah.
then it comes down to the last night. You guys are going to battle for the overall,
championship.
You're right.
Yeah.
What do you think about like the track order on the Tougher Than Dirt? You start somewhere like Underwood, smaller facility, smaller track, a little bit tighter quarters, and then you go from there to a Dickinson.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth for big to small tracks.
Well,
Definitely.
then Dickinson is like a big track races small, or is it a small
Right.
track races big? Dickinson is a lot of momentum, and it's not necessarily a track that you can gain a lot of ground on the other competitors
Right.
on.
It
You
can be
have-
hard to run the high side
Right.
there.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like it's there, but it's not there.
Like when
it's so goofy. But the guys that get that Dickinson high side figured out, I mean, it's
they're almost unbeatable.
right.
Yeah.
But it's very tough to do there.
But it's like we got the mods over here at Nodak.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the high side rolling, you're making up car lengths on guys.
Yeah.
When you hit the groove, and in Dickinson, you're making up feet.
Yeah, you really have to put it on the edge to make
'Cause-
any ground.
To make any ground.
Yep.
And then you go from there to the tight confines of no straightaway Williston.
Yep. Constantly turning.
It's a big
Yeah.
circle.
I'll say they're just straight turn the whole way.
It's just a
Yeah.
big circle.
That's always been my favorite track, though.
It is one of my favorite tracks. When
Mine
Williston
too.
is on, it is one of the best racetracks
so
to race on.
so much fun.
And I think almost for Tougher Than Dirt, that was one of our best races.
I believe so too. I believe you're 100%.
Me and Henderson were back and forth, and
Yeah, Kelly showed up for that night. Was he?
Yeah.
No, he was on the whole thing, but that's when he kind
Yeah.
of made his name on the tour. Was that night? Yeah, and then you go from you kind of were on some smaller tracks, and then you go to Estevan.
love
It must
Estevan.
feel like that you're on a 10-lane highway
Mm-hmm.
when you're in Estevan.
Right. Pretty close, same size as mine, huh?
Yep. So we get you small, we work you up, and we get you to Estevan, and then we go, hold up, boys, just joking. We're going to take you
Let's
back
go
to
to
Bottow.
Yep.
We're going to take you back to another smaller round circle than Williston, a round circle in Botno, which that is the marquee event for the Thunder Mountain Speedway, is it
Yep.
not?
It is.
It's the Robbie Conway Memorial. It's the Tougher Than Dirt Tour.
Mhm.
It's everything all boiled into one.
The whole town shows up.
Yeah, we had
It's a big night.
them
It's fun.
them kids get excited when I bring you guys up for the redraw up in front of the crowd, and you guys throw some beanbag toss. That's a big deal to them being
Yeah.
up in the crowd, is it
And
not?
Yeah, a different atmosphere coming when you got the whole Robbie Conway parade.
Yep.
It's just,
Yeah.
For
oh,
me, I've
yep.
always felt the weight coming into that night. Just,
That's the night you really want to win.
yeah.
And my brother was one that was luckily enough to win it last year.
Yeah. I think
Um,
anyone around here
Yeah.
really wants to win
Right.
it.
You know, and then you ended Minot, the biggest facility, the biggest grandstands, usually the biggest crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any? You talked about it earlier. Extra pressure just knowing you're at the North Dakota State Fairgrounds to finish it out.
Yeah, I mean mine always has the biggest crowd. The most pressure I always feel for the crowd is July 4th. I've always wanted to win.
Yeah.
When I won that one, that was a big deal for me.
Yeah, we usually get close to 2,000 or a little
Yeah.
over 2,000 people there. That's huge.
That's
It's a
packed.
huge
Yep.
crowd.
And yeah, I thought a lot about that race my second year because I finished second to
Oh, Darren.
Darren.
Yeah, I
Gosh.
think that was the year he was not leading the race. There was a late caution. Was that
Mhm.
the year? I
Might
was
have
in
been.
the stands and I ran down because what I seen from up there, I'm like, can't remember how it went, but I was like, dude, you got to get to the top in 3 and 4
Mhm.
and bottom in 1 and 2. So I ran down in the corner and I was doing the whole hand signals. He's, staring at me. The cop was just like, what are you doing? Because I was trying to get his attention at first, and then he looked at me, so then I did the whole, like, do this, do that.
Mhm.
And he did exactly that. And I think he got around you and stretching. I think he had to
Yeah.
pass 2 cars.
And I think that 13 car he ran into my right rear and just
Or-
completely.
Or maybe that's what it was. But, yeah, that was a wild deal. And then the crowd, I mean, it was just crazy. The crowd went nuts. And I just looked at the cop, and I'm like, see, you taught, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that is one night. That's the one thing that night I decided, like, if I ever, you know, get on the board or do whatever again, I'm like, everybody's racing that night again. You know, because how don't you want to be the guy to win that night?
Yeah.
I mean,
When you're sitting in the car
oh,
waving at the crowd, just
yeah.
everyone's there.
Yeah,
Yes.
between 4th of July and Father's Day, that's the 2
Yep,
nights that
yep.
I've always like for the Father's Day race. Like all my sponsors are in town here, and that's the night they all pretty much come to the track.
yeah,
so I've
that's
always like that's one of my nights. I always make sure I want to be here Father's Day weekend, and then 4th of July. I like the fireworks, so
Father's Day, Mother's Day is super important.
that's opening weekend
yeah,
almost.
that's another one that we get a good
Good
crowd. No
It's
matter.
good, but Mother's Day and Father's Day for us racers, those are the big days because without our parents,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
we're
wouldn't
not
be here.
racing.
Right.
We're not able to do what we do.
Right.
So them 2 days, and then 4th of July is a big night just because of the fireworks, and there's so much more that goes into it that, is able to.
Right.
It's more of an event than just the racing.
Right. Yeah, like last year we had a parade, the hot tots play. I mean, it was a whole day you could have spent in Minot and did something from like 10 in the morning all the way until the fireworks at 10:30.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing,
So-
all the fans are staying for the fireworks. They're walking
Right.
around the pits later.
Right.
You know that
Yep.
that whole event is bigger.
So now let's you raced all summer. You picked up the championship in Minot.
Mm-hmm.
Bought no championship. You get to the fall specials. Which fall special did you race? Motor Magic.
Yep. Motor Magic, Dickinson, or Jamestown.
And then you went to Jamestown. Yeah, you
Mhm.
you had to go to college.
Yep.
Right. You had to
Started
go
college.
back to school. You roll into Jamestown, and you have both cars,
Mhm.
sport mod and stock car. You go out and you have a good run in the sport mod, right?
Yep.
Did you finish top?
We finished third.
Third,
On the track, fourth, but we had a DNF.
Had a
Oh, yeah.
DNF.
Or-
Then let's talk about the stock car for a second, because I mean, I know when you suited up to get in that stock car, you were scared of one car,
Yeah.
that bright day glow yellow one that had a wheelman
Yeah.
driving it.
That
you were scared of
99 and. Yeah.
No, the bright day glow yellow one was me.
Oh,
Oh.
You didn't even know I was in the race.
Well, I knew you were in the race.
Golly.
Well,
he just wasn't in first place.
well, when I drove in and I saw the 40 of Van Mill, I'm like, oh, God, he's winning it already. And then I saw Strand, I'm like, oh, there's another one. I'm like, no chance.
You guys, did you know where I was going with that?
I was trying.
Trying to follow along
Yeah,
with that?
yeah.
Oh, okay. No, you had you and Strand up front. You're running
Yep.
second to Sean Strand. You want to win a stock car stampede. That's got to be a bucket list deal,
Big
Yep.
time.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Big
I mean, that's a
time.
bucket list for everybody that I know. And you have to pass Sean Strand.
Yeah.
Somebody that you looked up to, I'm guessing,
Yep,
when you were younger.
for sure.
Well, you did it twice, didn't you? You had to pass him twice because didn't he get back around you, or no?
I think it may have been a.
Caution came out.
Yeah,
and
I didn't
then-
know. They never said that we were going green, and I was sleeping on the wheel, and he
Okay.
got lucky. There was a caution.
Okay.
But, no, I was lap.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was kind of a deal where you had to get him twice. You got him once, and then you had to.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky with the
Yeah,
caution
kinda,
happening
yeah,
when I was sleeping.
But
But
you win that deal, and
Well, just talk about pass and Strand
Yeah.
to the
Oh,
lead.
yeah.
I mean, you don't have much seat time in a stock car.
No,
this
no.
is
You
your
guys kinda-
first full year, right?
yeah, first
Yeah.
full year. I
And
mean,
you
other
guys
than
kind of struggled a little bit, you know. I mean, it wasn't
yeah, our early stock car year was a lot of motor troubles.
right.
So our stock car year last year, I mean, I only ran the stock car tour up until then. And then we were racing, same motor my dad used to have in the stock car. We were running that. We were having fuel pressure issues the whole time. I was full throttle, just motor bogging out. I was getting passed by everyone, just so frustrating because I felt like our setup was good.
Right.
And then we were running the motor in the shop and it ended up blowing up because the fuel pressure rod was bad. So we took that out and put our motor that we have in now coming into it, the stock car tour. and we go to change gears. Metal shavings all in the rear end. That from the B&B, because we shipped the car off there, put the that big nut on there wrong, cross-threaded it, couldn't get it off, broke our tool to get it off, so brought out a back-out rear end. So 2 full days I was switching motors, tranny, and rear end before the tour. And then the tour comes, 44 laps in, we blow up a motor. So we were done with that. So went back to the old rear end after we got it fixed. So we went through 2 motors and 2 rear ends last year in the stock car.
Wow.
Then we finally got motor, finally got motor working. That's when Jamestown, all the,
Everything
motor magic
came
came
together.
down. Yeah, finally had a working car, and we really started to show up.
Well, I think everybody knew you as a stock car favorite. Or not a stock car, sport mod favorite.
Yeah.
When they seen Gabe show up with a sport mod, they're like, oh, put him on the list of the 5 guys that can win on this, any given night. I don't think your name was anywhere near that list in a stock car.
No.
Until you did what you did in Jamestown.
Yeah.
Right.
And some of the nights in mine, I kind of felt a little bit of pressure because I'm like, gosh, I'm, the youngest kid out here. I'm like, I have a great opportunity to race 2 cars, and, like, I'm not doing anything in the stock car. I look terrible right now. And so there's definitely some pressure to just get stuff going in that thing.
You jumped in that A-mod of Eric's, too, didn't you?
Yep,
Motor
you
Magic?
did
Motor Magic.
Motor Magic.
And that was good, too.
Yeah.
It's like you don't differentiate like any car you're in. You bounce from one to another. I mean, you did 3 nights or 3 cars in one night in Motor Magic.
Yeah, the first time I ever drove a modified was that heat race. I went from 10th to 3rd or 4th.
And without missing a beat.
Yeah, first time ever driving one.
They're easier to drive.
Yeah, they were different. Yeah,
they're
the stock car actually helped me to drive it more than the sport mod. Because I trail brake the stock car.
Right.
I don't do it much
the
in the sport mod.
And A mod, you don't take driving skills and transfer.
No, they're not a lot.
No.
Isn't that funny? So IMCA has to set up a hobby stock into a stock car. There's nothing that translates.
Right.
I went from the hobby, the week before in Mandan. I jump in that stock car. I look like a, whatever you want to call it, a lady that didn't know how to drive on the highway.
Yeah, they're different.
I almost knocked the wall down taking the green flag.
Yep.
Because I didn't know what the heck was happening.
They're so squirrely. When that rear end doesn't kick, it just slides forever.
Yeah. It took me quite a while to even figure out what was going on. I am saying I had the second fastest lap in that feature race. That's what I'm hanging my hat on. I figured it out.
Yeah, they're a fun car though.
I wish I could afford to do a stock car more because that's the most fun class.
Yeah. When you have a track for it,
when you have
best racing.
Yeah.
Right.
When you don't have the track for it, they can be a little frustrating. But no, and I didn't think there was going to be too much passing in Jamestown, but
yeah, then it kind of.
The track kind of opened up a little bit.
Yeah.
We had enough cautions. What I kind of labeled it as, what I did is I ran that one groove higher for 2 or 3 laps after a caution because you guys were running the middle to bottom and you're blowing stuff up. So after a few laps, it wasn't packed in anymore. It's just marble. So then you had to move down. But for 2 laps, you could run that one groove higher and pass some people, or you had to go to the very top. And
I was more running the bottom.
The very top was scary.
Yeah, because there was that little rut in 1 and 2, I think, and I think 5 laps in is when I got Strand because I wasn't getting tight. I was on the bottom, and he kind of got tight, pushed up, and I'm like, "There's no way," and I took my opportunity.
Yep.
So,
no, it's stock car class is a whole lot of fun. What 2024? What are your plans?
Well, we plan on racing mine at full time. We want to make it up to S-Van. Maybe, I don't know if it's a track championship we run for, but want to make it up there. Excited. We should be able to still support Botno. They don't overlap, and maybe make it to some Underwood.
Both cars everywhere?
Both cars in Minot. Obviously just the sport mod, and
in Botno.
I mean, might try in Underwood if I have the people to help. Might try. I mean, I'm one. I'll drive anything. I mean, if I'm able to, I'll drive it. But obviously, kind of focusing on the sport mod. But
Jesse has a non-wing sprint car.
You want to try a non-wing?
I mean, I drive it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it from you though.
Listen, you don't need. So you just drive it. You don't need to buy it.
So Terry asked me yesterday, "Can I drive that non-wing?" Well, I think we could do this. I think we're just going to rent it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I can't drive it, so might as well. We'll just rent it out. We'll
Right.
help them support. We'll help the support, right, with the non-wing deal. I can just do it instead of selling it. We'll just do a rental thing. I don't know.
Here's my deal. I'm not knocking that class at all, but that is something I just know. I'm just like, that's not for me.
It's wild.
I can 100% tell you.
I think there'd be a lot of people to pay me or pay to watch me do that, but I don't think I belong in something like that. That thing, they look like they could be a handful.
They're fun. I could tell you everything I've ever wheeled. That is probably the most entertaining thing I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what has ever happened in that thing. I mean, we spun those things out. Almost killed a guy down in Underwood a couple of years ago. That guy flipped over.
Well, that was last year, wasn't it? It was last
year
year.
before last. 2 years ago.
Oh.
But even getting out after that, you can't help but smile. There is something about it's 1,500 pounds with you in the car, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that power going direct to the rear end. It's the first time I ever got it. I brought it into practice a couple years ago when I bought it. I had it down at practice, and Bruce is on the radio. He goes, "Long, I've never seen you not hit the throttle." I was like, I'm quarter throttle in that thing, and I'm like, this is stupid. Like,
yep.
I so just wanted to stop. I was like, I don't even know if I can do this, right? But a couple nights into it, you get really comfortable, and they're a riot. I really want to go. I want to put a bigger motor in it. It's just, but you got to be stupid. I don't
Jesse
know if we're
Long and bigger motor not go together.
Well, I mean, you got to be half dumb, but
What?
We got some breaking news.
you breaking more news?
What is breaking
What'd you
news?
break?
The blue tickets are gone.
We're
We're
out of
out.
tickets.
Out of tickets.
Out of tickets. No more. No more
Tomorrow
sport
afternoon, aren't we?
compact.
Tomorrow. You're drawing it.
Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I think it was.
No
No,
more
no,
sport
we
compact
gotta-
drawing.
So, you know what you're doing?
Or no more.
You're going to be in that meeting asking a bunch of questions.
No, don't egg them on.
You want me to ask
Ooh,
questions?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m. here,
Mm-hmm.
Smalls is
It's
giving a big speech.
motivational speech
Oh,
by
boy.
Justin Medler.
Yeah.
What is he motivating?
You racers, the club members.
They want to know if we got 2 more tickets left.
No.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah. So is the
Did you-
21 camp coming to that or what?
Oh, I'll be here for sure.
You're going to come for the motivational speech?
I want a little look into what your brain is thinking on a daily basis.
You know,
I'll come.
Ooh.
There's not
Watch
much
the
there.
Dirt Weekly.
Yeah.
yeah, that'll get a start. But I should maybe write a speech, huh?
No.
You're going to write
I
something?
never-
Can you read? I thought you couldn't read.
I can't read, so
Well,
why
what's the
would-
point
I
of writing
never
it?
wrote
So it
anything.
looks good.
Off
I've
the
never
cuff.
wrote anything. Look at the preparation we do for this show.
And
I
it
literally
turns out
grab
great.
you.
Yeah.
We come over here and we just start talking, and then Jesse goes, "Well, I'll be on."
Yeah.
Justin was saying, "I'll be on," and pretty soon we have 4 of us talking
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, I'll talk on here as much as I text on the ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, our comments are rather lame. We don't have any comments.
See,
No comment.
this is what I don't understand. Why don't people just comment? It changes things around just a little bit.
Yeah.
Anybody watching?
Yeah, there's people
We've been up
watching.
to 20-some, back to 10. We've been
Huh.
kind of floating around. People must be coming in and out.
I think they're all here. There's
So
been a good show this
what's-
weekend.
Yeah, great show.
What's the plan? Like, how many years do you think you got in you racing? Is this a 40-year ordeal, or when Dad says he's done, you're done, or do you keep it in you to keep going?
Man, I mean, it'd be tough to do it without Dad, but I just love it. I just love being
Right.
in the car.
You think if you give up, your dad's going to get back in it?
I don't know. I mean,
Is there any interest of him racing again, or is he having more fun doing this?
he's always said when I started driving, he's like, "You're better." He's like, "You got it." But I don't know. I think it'd be fun if you got in the other sport mod. I think it'd be pretty fun to race against him.
Because he's never. Did he ever drive a sport?
Never
Just
drove a sport mod.
just
Hobby and
stock-
stock car
Hobby and
guy.
stocks.
Yeah.
Yep. I raced against him back in the hobby days.
Yeah, way back when, huh?
I don't know if it was how way back was it? Hobby
98?
stock? No, he
No,
wasn't
it
in a
was-
hobby that long ago.
It was 2000s, wasn't he? It was 06.
When did your dad
I
run
think,
hobby
when-
stock?
Ooh.
I thought it was early 2000s when he got out of the hobby stock before he went to a stock car.
Yeah, he didn't run a hobby stock for too many years. 2-3
No.
years, probably.
I want
Was
to
it
say
North Stars or IMCA?
IMCA.
Really? That'd be like 05 and newer.
Yeah. We'd have to talk to him. I don't
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
He would have just came back from SeaWorld, though, in 2004.
I think it was when he came back.
I thought it was early 2000s because it was
Yeah.
when I got out of the service in 04, late 04,
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure your dad was in a hobby stock.
Mm.
I
don't
don't
know,
remember
Well, it
this.
wouldn't have been any earlier than 04 because he would have been in Texas.
Right.
But
Maybe 04, 06.
I know when he came back, he was going to the races with Robbie and the Conways and all that. So
Yeah,
Well,
none
when
of those guys were racing then.
No, Robbie was done for a while before then.
yeah,
I don't know. This is a timeline we're gonna have to put together.
yeah.
Well, just text
Well-
your dad and ask him. We'll Snapchat.
I don't think
Snapchat him. Ask him what
when
he's
did
doing.
the Conways came back and what? Randy got a car in what? 07, 08, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody on Facebook watching know anything?
Jordan Albright says 2012.
That's when
That's-
Mo came back.
No,
Or that's when Conways
that's when-
came back.
That would have been Randy.
That's
that
when
was
Randy
the first
came
time
back.
Randy
I don't know.
came
He
back.
just said no. He said hobby stock 2012. Jordan Albright says.
That's when. So old Boho raced in 12 a hobby stock.
Yeah. See, I don't think he would have started in 05. That would have
Was
been
it
pretty
that
early.
late?
That would have been way early, wouldn't it have?
Yeah, it would have been way
Yeah,
early.
but you would have raced him then.
Yeah, you would
I
have
would
raced
have.
him
Well,
then
all
back
them
in
years
05.
I would have
Right.
raced him. Let's not even talk. 2012 I would have raced him.
I didn't think it was
Right,
that
that's what I'm
far
saying.
back.
05 I wouldn't have raced him. I didn't get a hobby until the middle of 06.
Yeah, I think he
Right,
raced for
yeah.
almost 10 years, and when he got out of it, that's when I got in it. So that'd be about the right timeline because I started racing in 2021.
Yeah,
So
so
12
yeah.
to
12 then, yeah.
Yeah.
But he tried a hobby stock.
Mm-hmm.
he did quite a few 10 or
4 years, I think.
3-4 years of
Yeah.
a hobby.
Wow.
Couple years.
Huh.
Then
I don't
went
know,
to stock
time
car.
eludes me. 20 years.
I was so busy trying to just not get kicked out.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was there.
And unfortunately, like my race pass doesn't go back that far.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. That's
Where was my race pass 20 years ago?
Yeah.
12?
He's answering me.
All the old stories, you can cross-check them.
Yeah, now you can't tell me you're.
Boy, Jordan is just ripping your dad.
Is he?
Only trophy Bo Deschamp ever earned is in his office. The rest were just participation trophies.
Oh, my. Yeah, it was his third race in a hobby stock. That was the first race he won.
First and last.
Third, yep, first and last. No, that's why it was such a big deal to win in the stock car because that's, I mean, the sport mod I always got in it because of Conways, but
Right,
the stock
right.
car was always my connection with my dad, and then when I won it, that was a big
Yeah.
deal for me.
Right.
During the race, my eyes were kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm like, I got to
yeah,
finish this before I
yeah.
start getting
Yeah.
excited.
You know, I got to stand next to your dad when we were in Arizona or
Mm-hmm.
in Nevada racing when
Mhm.
we were down there. And I tell you what, your dad's enthusiasm while you're
Mhm.
racing is just out of this world. I thought Bernie was one to watch, to stand
Oh.
up. I thought Bernie,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
sat in them stands up here with Bernie while these boys race. And to see him, I'm just like, man, where do you have the energy?
Yeah.
Bo is something else. I the pride, you know.
Yeah,
I have
that's-
girls, right? So I
Yep.
have 5 girls. My girls, I've got my three stepdaughters, and I've got my 2 oldest ones, and then, but they're not really into the racing thing, you know. So I've got my grandsons. I had them here this morning, and man, I tell you what, I can't wait until they're older.
Yeah.
I just like my enthusiasm for them to be in a car is just.
There's something about being
Something.
a dad. We talk about it quite a bit. On the Dirt Weekly, we talk about being parents. And Jordan's middle daughter, is going to college now.
Mhm.
Peyton looking at colleges. There's something I could I wanted to race with Max on the racetrack.
Mhm.
That's why a big reason why I did what I did this year
Right.
or last year. Iverson's car. Jason Olson granted me the opportunity to race in Arizona. Cool, loved it, great. I could care less if I ever strap behind a wheel again. I just want Max. I want to be there. I want to be
Right.
with your dad. I
Well-
want Brandon and Bo watching Gabe and Max.
Right.
Right.
End of story.
Well, that's going to be this year with him in the sport mod.
Yeah.
I'm
so-
going to enjoy every minute of it.
Well, and that's where my thing is. So, I suck. I'll admit it every day.
Everybody knows.
I'll admit it every day. I am not the best wheelman in the world, and but I don't care. I'm out having fun, right? That's where I've kind of taken
Just-
my thing. I used to stress about sucking,
Mhm.
right?
Just-
Anymore,
Just don't
I-
cause cautions.
I'll come over. I'll ask, right? What am I doing wrong, right? You're probably driving. That's usually the answer I get. You're driving. So, but on the real side, I'm doing this for my grandkids, right? So I got grandsons that are coming up, and I've got them into the racing thing, right? So they're 4. So that means you guys have to deal with me for 10 years,
Yeah.
right? Because I got to get them to the age where they can get in a car. It's going to suck, but you're going to be my age by the time my kids finally, or my grandkids are able to get in. So it's all right. You'll be 40, and then you get to deal with my grandkids. So, and they'll probably drive
I'm
worse
doing
than
that
me.
this long.
You're not doing that.
But it's hard for me because, I mean, with the expensive racing,
Yeah.
right? So to start, I did this all on my own, right? I've got some awesome sponsors. They keep me around. They keep me traveling. They help out, right? And that's where I try to tell people. I mean, that I don't have the funding to go racing by ourselves. A lot of us don't. It's gotten to be twice as expensive it was in 17 when I started, right? So now when I'm 17, I could do it, right? With what I made, perfect. It wasn't that expensive. We bought a sport mod. Then we got into a hobby stock after we rocked the sport mod, but it was cheap enough to do it. Now for me to go build even a hobby stock, which is supposed to be a beginner car, you're paying more than what I paid for a sport mod back in 18 when I built that sport mod.
My only argument, we can talk about this for days, it's all about how you go about doing it.
It's correct.
Oh yeah.
I can put together a hobby stock way cheaper and be competitive than some guys can.
Knowledge.
Knowledge helps a ton.
Knowledge. I don't have to build a race car knowledge, right?
Right.
I started as I'm going to the box. I'm going to the box store and I'm picking one up, right? And then
Well, that's the most expensive thing. to
Yeah,
do.
that's
It
the
is.
hardest way to do
that's
it.
why it costs so much money. You take the 5 car that I drove for Iverson. That thing has a crate motor in it. You can't do nothing with a crate motor.
Right.
No.
Them hobby carburetors, what can you do with a hobby carburetor?
Little to none. I mean, you can get them tuned a little bit. I mean, you can put
You
a
can
little
pay
bit
the
of money.
$800 to get them from Blessington or somebody down south, but it's a Rochester 2G.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
It's a rotten Chester.
Right.
That's what I call it.
Right.
You know, it's got an old 9-inch with drum brake rear end. It's got a 3-speed transmission. It's a 2009 chassis.
Yeah.
It's just as competitive with the brand new ones.
Right.
And I mean, look at what.
You know,
Right.
That Chubby, I didn't do. I mean, we did a side trade deal on that. Brandon and I did, and I tell you what, I got out in that Chubby, and I couldn't believe I could actually drive a car. And
well,
I did.
I had it set up pretty good for you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because it just went away after.
You started working on it.
Oh, we,
Yeah.
we know what happened.
I greased it once it went away.
But here's the deal. You know, okay, you guys got a new car this year. Darren's rolling out his 12-year-old victory car.
Yep.
He should know what he has. You don't. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
yeah.
a big deal. But it's a race car too. I've seen Darren turn around and struggle week to week. It's just like the car went, you know, and then you
Right.
got to get searching again. It's just
Well,
this racing thing.
got-
I don't think.
are we
you
going
can-
to prom? What do we got going on
maybe.
here?
I think there's a prom going on tonight.
Yeah.
Prom is this weekend.
Yeah.
I know there's one out in Fargo. Tuxer, that's where Tuxer was heading off to this weekend.
Prom,
City
yeah.
of prom this weekend too.
Well,
But you just don't know this racing deal. Yeah, you can buy the next best shocks and this and that. Some of it just comes down to knowing what to do after the heat race. I mean,
Right. I'm big on that because obviously we have nice equipment, but we buy the chassis. Like, that's a new chassis, but I
Right.
built the car.
Right.
All the tin work, I built it. I put the motor
You're
in,
doing the
tranny.
work.
I'm coming, yeah.
You know the car.
Yeah, I know every nut and bolt on that car.
That's why I always say I knew more about racing when I was 14 years old than I do now because I
Right.
was doing the work.
right. I
And-
could tell you the left rear bar angle measurement, all those angles.
Right,
I could tell
right.
it off the top of my head.
And I think that's one big thing. After Darren left and started his own thing, I needed to get back into the game of, hey, you got to do the work. You got to be the brains.
Yep.
And I mean, it takes time to learn it. You know, I
Right.
mean, even after being racing this long, it's always changing. And if you're not really like involved, I mean, it helped. Like when Darren and I were racing together, we had a system. You know, he did a lot of the maintenance, the setup. I kept the trailer clean, the truck clean, the spare parts. I mean, we had a system.
Yep.
But
he was
That's what
the
it
maid.
takes.
He was the maid.
Well,
I'm good at it.
everyone has their job.
Right.
I
There you
mean,
go.
So that's why he's president after I am, because he's got to clean up the mess that I created. He's
I
the
mean,
maid of the Nodak Speedway.
Most
yeah.
OCD guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I pride myself on being the best setup guy I can. I have a note
Right.
on my computer. You should see I have 5,000 words of mod, stock car, and sport
Right,
mod setups.
right. But then you throw your mom and sister in there. They're probably the ones that keep the trailer
Yep.
done, the car wash, everybody has their job. And that was one thing, when I was, with Wyatt, that was my job to maintain the trailer, wash the cars. It was something I started when I was 14 years old. Yeah, did the checklist and stuff like that. And then he'd, come in, do the scaling, or it started with, do the trailer, change gears.
Yeah,
that's where you start at. And it does, goes into more. I think the biggest problem with racing right now, we're missing the 14-year-old kids that want to get involved, work their way up. I didn't get to start racing until I was 19. I had 5 years and busting my ass for somebody else. But then when I got my car, I knew what I was doing.
Well, they want to jump in and not touch it. They just want to they just want to go wheel it.
Like what you just said. You like to go and just buy.
Well, when I started, so there's a difference. So, I grew up watching these races, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't have a choice. I had my grandfather raced, but I didn't know my grandfather, right? So,
but you got to get involved with somebody.
Right, but I didn't have that opportunity, right?
Yeah,
so I grew up as a kid, and I never really, I'd walk around the pits, right? But I was believe it or not, I was a shy kid. Right, I didn't talk. I didn't like people. I just kind of stayed away.
Now it's the opposite. People don't like you.
I still don't like people, and people don't like me anymore.
Oh.
I'm just honest, and that's.
But what I'm saying is,
honesty's killed me my whole life.
The drivers. This is one of my big things I want to try and get back to is having that after the races.
People in the pit.
Love that.
There might be some kid up there watching you, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go." It turns into 2 weeks later, he's down in the pits with you guys. Turns into a crew chief. He might be only 11 years old. You got to get permission. Maybe his mom and dad come down there too. That's what we need to build this thing. And you gain a crew guy. That's more or less how I got started, And
I'm still one of the last ones out of the pit.
Like Darren,
like
when Darren got into sport mod, had his own stuff, goes to Estevan, wins opening night.
Yep.
And, everybody's amazed, but that kid, he knew everything.
Yeah.
Everything was to a T when he went there because he treated it the only thing we changed was driver. Obviously, you can tell what the hang-up was there,
Yeah, I'm a big believer. You got to know what you got.
Right.
Because I'm going to be honest, I've only changed a few things on that sport mod the last few years, but you know what? I know on this track I change this. On this, you got to know your car.
Right.
You can't be taking the big swings at the setup.
Right. And I think that's what you got. That's what you got going on. You are, you are always researching. You treat it just like going to school. You're researching. You're always on, the next best thing. That's huge.
Yeah, and I just love doing it. I love watching the videos. And for anyone getting in the class, the Bob Harris setup videos are amazing.
Great start.
Because when I got in, my dad didn't know much about a sport mod. He's like, you watch these videos, and I was kind of the one doing a lot of this research, and then I'd kind of talk with him and figured it out.
What do you got going on there?
I need to do that. What did you pay for that? That is.
I didn't pay anything. We got a guy over here just 2 booths down that are doing these custom cups. Magic City Car and Trade Show 2024. Max's Sport Mod is on it. Pulled the picture off the proof.
Huh. Yeah, because the car doesn't look like that.
The car doesn't even look like that right now. He's right over here. He can go take a picture of your car sitting right here, and he can have cups for you today.
Yeah, that's awesome. We were just talking about the little
what's the pricing on those
show
things?
cars.
Ryan.
Well, take your headset
off. It's not
off.
his.
Yeah.
He can't hear me?
You want to walk over there?
Just walk over there and check it out.
Walk over and check it out.
Well, you have to walk over there and check it out.
I'm gonna do a small commercial break.
Yeah.
We had commercial breaks last night.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah. Actually, now that Jesse's gone, do we want to talk about the real stuff?
I think his mic broke, thank God. Jeez.
And that's one thing.
Oh, jeez, here he comes.
That's one thing I'm struggling with Max.
Yeah.
Max was spoiled in the hobby stock. So when he got in a hobby stock, he was in a ready-to-go, winning, race-ready.
Setup was there.
Setup, everything. We didn't change nothing because, honestly, like I told Brock and I, we put the stuff in it. We knew what we had.
Right.
We have all the experience. He didn't have to change anything. He didn't have to learn to change anything. It handled right out of the box, the same way your Chubby did. Well, Max had a twin car to what I gave to him, so pretty easy to set it up. It's now in the sport mod deal, he's got to learn all this. I stole your checklist
Yeah.
that you stole from Wyatt Olson.
Right.
I still have one of those checklists. I make copies of them every year.
So now we have a new checklist that Max has to go through on the car every week. He doesn't get to
Yep.
go to the racetrack until that checklist is done.
Yep, it's good.
It's meticulous too. It's
Oh,
a big it's a
that
big
was
checklist.
that was that car, the W057, did not leave the shop until that was done,
Yep.
and that was before every race. It didn't matter if you got home from Williston or whatever. It got done because you can't win it if you're sitting in the pits and your class is out there racing.
No,
you
and a lot of handling problems. The car can be right, but I mean,
Right.
if your front right, if that's not greased right,
right.
and your ball joints aren't working, that stuff makes a big difference. Car needs to
Huge.
move.
And the way everything is, so tight for time,
Mhm.
I mean, you got to be dead on almost every lap now. You can't have an off lap.
Yeah, you can't have an off
You
night.
can't have, like you say, a part not working right, because if it's causing you just a little bit, it's going to cost you a race.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and 100th it's a lot. 1,000th is a lot even on this track anymore. It's people go right by you.
And consistency. I mean, 2/10 every lap. That's a 3-second gap pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. Yeah, you get talking like that.
Go on my race pass. It's not just the fastest lap; it's your
Oh,
average lap.
Right.
Yep.
You look at an average lap that's 2/10 faster. Those gaps are huge.
Right.
Yeah. It's
$25 for those cups, by
what-
the way.
25 bucks. That ain't
They said
bad.
$25 is all they are.
$25 for your own custom. What do they call these things? Tumbler.
Hmm.
They gave me the skinny tumbler.
Hey, speaking of tumbling, have you ever done that?
I have not.
Oh, we were
No.
talking about it last night, weren't
No.
Jordan is just,
we? He's mind blown that he has not rolled over.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's been advertising it to everybody. He's asking everybody, do you know Smalls has not rolled over? Or how many times do you think Smalls has rolled over? Some guy said 6. And I'm
Oh
like,
my!
what? Yeah.
Never taken a tumble.
I haven't tumbled either. I mean, I went sideways. I broke my tailbone tumbling. I mean, I didn't tumble. I bicycled and came down and broke my tailbone, but
That's not, oh.
I didn't. I mean, I was in the tumble buggy, so I mean, but I didn't go over. It went.
Have you
was
ever
on
been,
two
have
wheels
you ever
and then
been
came back down.
close?
I think so. My first year in a sport mod, I was on the back straightaway of mine, and I kind
Oh.
of got off,
Yeah,
and there was a
that's
car on my right door, and I was getting pushed, and I'm like, this is going to be the time that I go. But,
Yeah, one tire lets loose there.
yeah, it's when you get
Be-
spun out to the
Yeah,
right. That's when
right.
you go.
Right.
Your left rear digs in and
Yeah.
Yep.
I've had my cars tumble, but I've never been in them when they're tumbling.
Well, when you tumble a car, I mean, there's going to be a lot of work to fix that
Yeah.
car up.
Yeah.
Caden's tumbled car and he comes right back into them. I don't know some of those cars. I don't know how he even runs them after that. The one he went off of 1 and 2 up here in mine a couple years ago.
they had to do some fixing on it. It wasn't just a.
Yeah, that one was
Well, I
a
think
while.
he
think they had-
re-haloed that one, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he had to go. And it's Jeff Barta. I saw Jesse tumble off or in turn 3 and 4 with a 4-wheeler involved.
Oh, Jeff, don't remind me. That was expensive. Thanks. Yeah, the 4-wheeler thing was not good.
Even under caution, you're a hazard.
Listen, we weren't even racing. We were putting the racetrack back together for the fair deal.
Yeah, you were out messing around on the 4-wheeler.
So it wasn't even. So what we found out about that is, so what happened is I started the 4-wheeler, and as soon as I was just got on it and I hit the start button, and my my throttle on that thing. So the Can-Am have electronic throttles on them, and for some reason it stuck, and I literally I hit the start button, and that 4-wheeler was not meant. Probably should have never been anywhere where you can bite into it. The thing, if it'll flip you, it's 100 horse is what that motor had into it. It was stupid to have it down here, but I was using it to work. I should have brought the dang golf cart like I normally did, right?
Oh
But
God,
I
what's
s-
that? Oh, you missed it.
I started it up, and I didn't even have a hand on it. I remember bouncing my head. I counted 3 times I bounced my head before I stopped rolling.
I took you to the emergency room, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so.
It was that bad?
Oh, dude.
So my shoes,
Explains
my
a
hat,
lot.
and everything. I went from the top of 4
I'm starting
to
to
the
think,
bottom of 3. So Brandon come running onto the track. He thought I was pissing around with a 4-wheeler.
I was
And
pissed.
it was
I
loud because the thing was loud,
the
but it was
throttle
stuck.
stuck.
It was stuck wide open, upside
Oh.
down, and I was laying next to it. I had no clue. Like I shattered my shoulder.
Oh
I mean, to look at me, I have. If you go back and look at my pictures, like it looked
Big
okay.
bloody
I'm
head
bald, right? I have no hair on top of my head, but for like 3 weeks, I thought I was 20 again. I had hair. It was a big scab, but it was down my head, down my face, I got it.
And my message to him as I drop him off was, the racetrack and the North Dakota State Fair will not
I'm not
be
doing
getting
anything
called
with
into this
Yeah.
at all.
That would be a hell of a deal.
This guy should not be allowed on the fairgrounds.
My wife. Okay, so
What class you in again?
We,
My class?
I
Your
bought
class.
another. I did buy another 4-wheeler.
Bring the new car out first. Let him.
Old cars coming out first. I
Yeah,
already
old
decided.
car. Yeah.
There's
Michelle-
way too many cars, way too many
Right.
new drivers for a new car
Holy-
coming out
yeah.
first
It's
night.
old
Well,
car.
we had bought the sprint car after that, and
Oh.
I told her, I was like, I need to buy another 4-wheeler. You are not riding a 4-wheeler. I said, listen, I need a 4-wheeler. So me and 4-wheelers are bad ideas. So I broke my back on a 4-wheeler.
It's starting to look like
I broke my foot on.
anything you drive is a bad idea.
No,
you
anything.
you drive a semi for a living.
Listen, well, that's been my life. So
How do you keep that thing on the road?
I don't. Listen, I pay
Jesus.
taxes. I pay
Bad
taxes.
advertising.
I pay taxes from the far left to the far right.
Oh.
So I mean, as long as I stay in, they have rumble strips.
Yeah.
This is oh, I gotta go this way.
Where were we at? Back to
I-
Gabe. What were we talking about? Squirrel.
Squirrel.
What did we talk?
we
Squirrel.
went sideways. I don't know.
Making moves.
Yeah.
We're
Making
going to-
moves,
We're
yeah.
going to prom
Where
again.
did this making moves thing? I know. Okay, never mind. I know what else started. The thing.
Let's talk about this airplane thing.
Yes. How's
I've
that
never
coming?
been in one.
Really?
You should
Never.
fly one. You should try it once.
I was in the airport once. Never been in an airplane.
Got to try it.
Is it fun?
Oh, yeah.
And you're Jimmy Grote. How you
Yeah.
doing?
Mr.
Hanging in there?
Yeah,
It's good to see you.
thank you. Did you hear what I did?
What?
Bought a race car.
No.
No, I bought another Corvette, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which one did you buy?
I bought a 71 gold Corvette with 11,000 miles on it.
From here in the show?
No.
No, from Missouri. It's going to get parked next to my 78 Corvette that's got 28,000 miles on it.
Be nice.
But I'm selling it. I'm selling the 78.
I'm trying to talk my wife into let me buy a Corvette.
Why don't you buy mine?
How much do you want for it?
I want $12,000 for it, but I'll tell you what, if you buy it within the next 2 weeks, I'll give it to you for 11.
Whoa.
I tell you what, I will trade you a sprint car for
Whoa.
a Corvette.
Oh, gosh.
You just find-
Trying to kill him over here.
You know what I did in November?
Retired.
From the drag strip.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah.
Retired from the drag strip.
25 years. I was the very, very first employee that they brought in down there.
And now you're gone.
And
Who am I going to call in good grief to then?
You should just do an interview.
I think
with
you
him.
were the very first employee to tell me to get my bike off your racetrack. too.
Maybe so. If you
Imagine that. Jesse's getting in trouble at the
well, you know,
drag strip,
I
too.
used to do that too. I used to drag.
Let me tell
So
you something.
I dragged a
If
bike
you-
for years.
did something that I felt was not safe, pushed your ass right off the
I think you told me I went too fast and I didn't have enough gear on or something. Something about the
Oh.
licensing thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Would you let cars go without roofs?
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
don't give a shit what you do anymore.
Yeah.
He's not there. You don't care.
As far as I'm concerned, you can go down the track 200 miles an hour and go through the fence like
Yeah.
that.
We're live right now. Jeff
Yeah,
Barta
yeah.
says hi. There goes the show.
There goes the show.
Hi, Jeff. I love you.
He'll be back next week.
Yeah, he'll be back next week.
Is he still down south?
Yeah, that's what he said, I
How's
guess.
anything getting done on the track if Barta's not here?
There isn't.
We're live.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm swearing?
You didn't
It's-
swear. We didn't hear you swear. You're just background noise.
I didn't mean that.
You can see yourself right here.
Right here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
You see
okay.
we're right there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're live. We don't do this stuff, record and post edit.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that.
There'd be nothing fun on it if you had to
he's
edit it
shy.
all out.
Now he's
Now-
shy.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Where were we at again?
Well, this is
With the
supposed to be
flying
what-
thing.
Flying thing. Did you have this young
Flying.
kid? Do you have your pilot's license?
Yes, I do.
So you're full blown.
How,
Like,
I'm
Is there a
working on my
certain-
instrument rating right now.
Is
So
there
you're
so
just private, right?
Really?
Yep.
You're working on you just got your private.
So
Yep,
do you,
right.
So do you fly? So do you ever get a hold of Rutledge?
I don't
Rudlin?
Rudlin.
Craig Rudlin's son?
Craig Rudlin's son. Just
Yeah, he's got his.
he's a pilot too.
Yep.
know.
He's got his license.
Connor.
Oh, yeah.
Connor Rudlin.
Yeah.
Connor.
well, they're about the same age, aren't they?
No, Connor's a year older than Max, so he's a junior in high school right now.
So
Sometime we'll fly the plane, bring Medler up.
Yeah.
I think we should take him up.
We better be doing a Dirt Weekly when we do that.
Show
know,
you
I
zero
can fly.
gravity. That's something.
Yeah.
That's
Fly
a
up
blast.
and level off. Yeah.
My grandson, who just turned 15, wants to be a pilot in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We started talking to people about, him going through ROTC and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what we were told? We were told by somebody from a civilian airline, like American Airlines or something like that, that if they start teaching you like ROTC and that starts teaching you like instrument flying, don't even pay attention to it because the civilian airlines do it totally different.
Look how weird that
Yeah, I
looks.
could see that. I mean, basic
I never got a
instrument-
chance to
I
do
mean,
that, and I kind of want to. I don't know.
So how big of a plane can you fly right now?
Anything up to 200 horsepower, 6 passengers.
6 passengers?
Yeah.
You can take passengers now.
Oh yeah, I can take passengers.
That's cool.
No, I've had my
Single
private
engine, right?
license. Yes, single engine. I've had my private since middle of last summer. I take my sister and my family up, and
Oh, wow.
yeah. So now I'm a student
Does
at
your
UND.
dad have his too?
My dad doesn't have his.
Doesn't have his.
He had his student, so he could solo. So the plane that we have now, he'd fly that solo.
Oh,
but
okay.
he doesn't have his. He's not able to
Family
take
own the
passengers.
plane?
Yes.
So he does still fly solo, though, right? Does he
Not
still
anymore.
fly the plane at all?
He's gonna get current again, I
Is he?
think.
I seen you were up last week in it.
Yep.
Right?
With him.
Yep.
No, I'm during the week. I fly about 3-4 times a week at UND.
So
Are you flying the plane back and forth to school now, or are you driving?
Not yet. Probably next year. I'll bring the plane up.
Next year.
So
It'll be a little quicker for racing.
yeah, that's the game plan.
You can actually
My
come
I don't
sister's
know.
gonna be coming to
We're
UND,
gonna
so
talk to
we'll
that
be
guy.
traveling back and forth together. So
Oh, she's going to do next year too as well.
yeah,
That'd be perfect.
I'll get to show her the ropes.
Show her how much to party.
We'll have
She's
to,
not going to any parties without me.
we'll
No?
have to-
I'm gonna keep an eye on her.
okay,
you guys chat about that.
we'll do.
I know the good frat houses and the bad frat houses.
So you found them all already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember,
That's some good parties out there.
brother.
As a matter of fact,
20 years ago was a little different, probably.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, I'm
probably
sure.
still the same.
I clean your,
Yeah, our house is over 100
the
years
ditches?
old.
Is it?
I cut the grass and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yep.
clean up in that.
I mean, I used to
Landing
just go out
strip?
there and party.
Oh.
so.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
a,
smart enough for college.
there's a few people that come out that don't go to UND but
Right.
come hang out at UND.
Landing strip at
that's
the
what
new
I should
dome.
do.
Love
Yeah.
you too, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jeff.
We need a landing strip. Yeah, we do need a landing strip at the
So
new
how,
dome.
so back to the college thing. We're going to
Mhm.
move on to colleges right
Okay.
now.
I've got to go.
Okay.
Talk to you later. You guys have a great time.
Thank you.
too.
And that was nice. Jeff, see you later.
Jimmy Grote, longtime 25-year member of the Drake Strip, one of the owners, one of the promoters that kept
Mhm.
the Drake Strip going over there. Built a relationship with him via Nodak and the Drake Strip,
Yep.
obviously. I don't know what's going on back here. What's going on here, Smalls?
What are we cleaning?
Whatever's happening, we're catching it on camera. So
Yeah, I'm about ready to clean some clocks.
the whole college thing. My daughter's going to go to college.
Yep.
She's most likely going to Viterbo University in La Crosse, Wisconsin, or
That's-
William Penn University in Oskaloosa, Iowa. She's narrowed it down. She's going on a bowling scholarship.
Okay. So she's going a little ways away then.
Yeah, I'm not excited.
No, I'm sure not.
So the differences between them, like William Penn in Iowa, that's kind of more of a sports school. There's a lot more athletes there, like 60 or 65% of the students there are athletes,
Mhm.
and it's about a 50-50 male to female ratio. When you go to Viterbo, it's more of like an 80% female, 20% male ratio, and not as many athletes. Only something like 30% are athletes at Viterbo. Okay. I'm leaning towards the Viterbo just so she's not around so many college boys.
So many boys, yeah.
Am I wrong with this or not?
Probably not. Probably not.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Smalls looks confused.
No, I'm not confused.
Smalls is like, what am I going to do when
I'm
these girls go to
concerned.
school?
Concerned? Did somebody hit something? Did it hit the?
No, I think he owns
No.
the pickup.
I don't. I could care less if
They're
he
not
owns the
supposed to be
pickup.
behind the rope.
what about the rope connected to all them poles? He doesn't own all them cars.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
Jesse,
Oh, yep.
you got
Knock
you
him
got to.
over. I didn't
beat-
see that.
You
Yeah.
see where I'm
You're
going?
10 steps ahead of everyone.
Yeah,
Right.
The
you're
lights
watching.
on the screen,
Right.
I can't see through the backside.
Yeah,
No.
college. What would you do for that
Are
decision?
your girls going to go to college?
God, I almost hope not.
But
But
they're as smart as he is not.
I just tell them, just go get a Class A.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell him that right now either. That's probably the worst job you'll have right now. It doesn't pay very well right now.
Yeah, but it's a
it
job
does.
whenever you need it.
It does.
It
is-
pays
it is
really
a-
It's not going away.
It
Right.
will
Going
not go.
away.
Well,
It pays really well
okay,
if you
we
don't
all
own the truck.
We all have our own theory on when that's going away, right? So if you ask some of us, I mean, if you want to drive an electric car 20 years from now when they're able to drive it, have at it.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't go to college. I guess I turned out.
I mean, I ventured into
Right?
it a little bit,
I
but
don't know.
I tell you what.
Did you go to college?
I did not. Got my CDL when I was 18, and I've kind of lived my life since then.
Yep.
But I've been out of a truck for the last 12 years. I haven't been in a truck for 12
Oh,
years.
so you're in an office now. You don't.
See,
even
I'm an
drive
office
anymore.
guy. I sit in
Yep.
there and keep my hands clean and that kind of jazz.
I mean, I drive randomly, but I'm more of an office guy than I'm anything. And I'm
But without a
I'm really
CDL,
bad.
I couldn't get where I'm at.
Right.
Hi, Lydia. I'm not interested in popcorn. I'm doing a show right now. Can I take it, or are you going to give it to me later? Okay.
So, like, what you're
'Kay.
going to college for? What do you? Then what?
So, yeah, I'm going for aviation management. So right now I'm flying. Then I also have some business classes. So, I mean, like owning an FBO in Minot or like ferrying airplanes. I don't really see myself on like the Delta track. But I'm also doing a minor in entrepreneurship. So I guess I plan to farm. There's ferrying people around, small cargo type deal, flying like that, or just aviation business.
I've got a buddy of
So-
mine down in Texas that does it. He got out of the Air Force, and that's what he does. And I
Yeah.
tell you what, that guy has made a killing for himself.
Yeah, it's really broad degree.
Right.
I mean, plan to farm at the
And you just fly
main
somebody
job.
else's plane around.
Yeah,
You just
There's
people just hire you to fly.
well, there's some farmers that have tickets to Minnesota Vikings. Like they
Yeah.
have a
true.
shared stake in
Well,
a plane,
yeah,
but none of them can fly.
I
So
think
they
I
need a
wa-
pilot.
Yeah, the one time didn't the Conways they flew down to Super Nationals or something?
They got
last-
a big plane that needs a pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they did it last minute. They got
Yeah.
they got a plane from somebody and.
I've
down
thought about
there.
investing in a plane to
but,
do that. Like
you
just
know,
a split. That's
Old Donnie Schatz, isn't that how he goes
how
from
he
race
gets
to
pilot.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
flies himself now. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
Don flew him around for years, and then he started getting into it. I think, and he flies that jet around.
That's an interesting deal, though. I mean, that's a business that you want to get in, or that's going
Mhm.
to keep you around.
Well, I just love being in the air, so I figured any.
I don't think
No,
they'll
I
ever
don't
put a
job like
DEF
that.
I missed my
system in an
calling. I think
airplane,
I
so you
should've been
probably
a
be
pilot.
perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
if
tried
could-
that. So I did fly. I did 14 hours when I was in my early 20s. The thing I had a hard time with, you can't drink, and I like to drink beer.
Yeah,
So-
that's a big thing with flying.
But it's
no
just
drinking.
it's just like a CDL, right? If I'm not mistaken, you can't. But you have like 12 hours, right? So you have to be 100% sober. But you guys
Yep.
have a time limit, if I'm correct, right?
12 hours
12
bottle to throttle, or 8 hours.
Right.
0.04 blood alcohol.
So we're on a 0.00. We can't have anything. I think that's a little bit different.
Well, that's
So-
private pilot. Like if
Private.
you were commercial, like I don't think you can't take Advil before you fly. Like
Are they on a
there's big
0.00?
restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
So-
medicine, a lot of restrictions.
And that's kind of what deterred me away from it, I think, was I like to go out on the weekends. I like to go out, right? But if I wanted to fly, right, I couldn't. There was that whole stopping thing.
Yeah,
So with the
depends on
CDL
what kind of level. If you're a private pilot or if you're
Right.
doing a commercial standards.
Commercial thing, I mean, for a commercial driver, for a CDL holder, I mean, I have to blow 0.0, right? There's
Yep.
0.0 no matter what. In my personal vehicle, it's 0.04. So the standards for you without a commercial license is 0.08 for DUI. Mine is 0.04 in my personal vehicle even. So I have to watch myself even having a beer driving around. So it's kind of the same standards what I do now, except now I just drive myself across the states instead
What are we
of
getting at
flying
here?
myself.
This lessons on commercial motor vehicle
Yeah.
We're just
licensing is brought to you by 3D Logistics. Your personal hotshot needs taken care of.
Yeah.
my guys drive me around. I'm all right with it.
I'm just giving
Well,
you
yeah.
grief.
Well, yeah.
I gave
that's-
you a shout out. Isn't
I
3D
appreciate
Logistics?
Yes, it's 3D Logistics. We are
That's
a
fine.
hot-
Oh, now he's gonna
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's $500.
That's $500.
So
I
let's
should-
your pilot. Let's before we go,
Yeah.
let's touch on Fear the Rear Racing. You have a YouTube page. you and your family and friends are documenting or trying to document your racing. Right?
They're the fear of the rear.
These
Yes,
guys
they are the fear of the
fear
rear.
of the rear.
It's on the back of every one of his cars.
Yeah.
And all.
You've never
Why
been
do
behind me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Why do I struggle with this fear
I
of the
think we
rear?
renamed it last night.
Yeah.
Instead of Fear the Rear or Fear the Rear Award, we moved it to Fear the Rear Making Moves.
Yeah.
Yep. Got to be making moves.
Right.
It's the Biden thing.
Yeah, okay,
Making
so
moves.
now we got to change up the back of the car?
Making moves.
Making moves.
I'll just put that
Just
on
Fear the
mine.
Rear Racing on the back of my car, but
That's what it says.
yeah.
Huh.
No, I
So
mean,
you-
we try to document everything as much as we can, but Jordan Albright took a lot of videos, and then he lost his phone from Vegas and Arizona.
Oh, is that where all those videos went?
Yeah, basically.
So you guys
And-
have your own YouTube channel page or whatever?
Yeah.
Yep.
Looking for someone to help put videos together because we can get footage really easily, but the problem is I don't have the time to do the videos during the week while
Huh.
working
I
on
can
cars.
get video
No,
from behind
Brandon.
if you want.
No.
No, Brandon was supposed to do this on me 12 years ago.
Yeah.
We'd be rich, but he said he didn't have time.
Do you understand when I say I don't have time?
Yeah.
We would have been rich. Just look at all
Here-
the. You could.
There is
moments.
You
so
could have had
much-
2 more race cars in your shop.
There is so many cool things that happen that would be awesome to have on camera, and I enjoy the shows or the videos when you follow along racers.
Right.
Now, I don't want to see what happens on the track. I
People want
already
to see
know.
the behind the scenes.
I want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
what happens behind the scenes, in the pits, in between races. What's the conversation?
Right.
Do you and your dad get heated? Do you
Not
chirp
usually.
at one another? Does
Really?
he? Do you say the car is junk and he says maybe it's you?
No.
You know, I mean, is there stuff like that goes on? I'm just
Usually-
but people want to know that.
Oh, right.
They want to know. Is the perfect Gabe that we see in Victory Lane that gives the perfect interview, is that the Gabe in the pits too? Or is he just doing that there?
I mean, I've talked to a few older guys if I'm a little frustrated, but usually how it goes, my experience, I get into the pits, I rolled in, Dad, oh, good job. Ah, no, that was crap. That was all right. But then jack it up, the pit crew takes off the tires, me and him are talking, what changes? Usual, move this bar, move that. Yeah, do all that. Usually what I feel in the car is what he sees. And then if I'm ever frustrated, which I have been a few times, I'm like, Dad, he cut me off or this. He's like, well, go talk to him. All right, let's go get in the – no, you.
Yeah.
You go talk to him.
Yeah.
He makes me go talk to him by myself. So that's usually how the conversation
So here's
goes.
the next thing. Have you ever been scared? Have you ever had contact with somebody on the racetrack and been scared to go apologize or talk to them after the races?
I don't know about scared.
Only
Nervous?
Jesse Long. He doesn't like the gray-haired guy.
Well, when I got into that little thing with the 57 stock car, I wasn't going to go talk to him at all.
No. Oh, Brendan.
No.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, that wasn't my fault. And I knew who it was, but I'm like, I'm not going to go talk to him, of course.
They're nice people, but you just don't want to be the one to really make him mad.
No.
That's kind of like Chris Ducher.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm on his good side, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in our trailer in Vegas.
Yeah, but if
Yeah,
you ever
he
get
is.
an A-mod and start racing with them, you rub them up
Yeah.
a little bit, you're going to be like, stay away from there for a day or two. Let's
Hopefully
give
I would
him a
have
day.
Hopefully I'd have a little good credit to not completely, but
He just picks you up with the one hand and just twists you.
I'm a small guy. Yeah. Works good for the race and I can fit in about anything, but
This
not
might
for
be-
the fighting.
This might be the last show of the day.
What time's it getting to be today?
It's getting to be almost, it's
it's
after 4.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to get ready for the rocking horse.
Yeah, I forgot one thing all day. I got to touch on something real quick. That little Lydia running around here, she's my goddaughter. Her mom or her grandma and grandpa up in Kenmare had a house fire, lost everything. There's free will offering over here next to the TV if you come down here to the booth. They lost their whole house, everything inside of it. They don't have any clothes, bedding, any memories of childhoods, none of that stuff. So
Wow.
we appreciate anything that you can do. Tom and Vicky Herman, they live, if you've been to Bowbells, if you go from Kenmare to Bowbells, north of Kenmare where Highway 52 turns and heads west, they're right on that curve.
Okay.
They're the house right on the right-hand side. So I've meant to say that all day. We have a free will offering over there. But sad deal, last Friday, a week ago, lost everything in their house.
I've seen that. You got some giveaway stuff there before.
Yeah, we have
you-
giveaways. What are we giving away?
A hat, a Speedway hat.
Yeah, but what
and,
for what? What do we
You
got to
gotta think of something.
think
oh,
of something?
Jesus, you want me to think?
Well, we've kind of kept it related. So, Gabe, you were, if let's see, What was your first track championship?
Mine.
Botno
Botno.
last year.
So
last
if somebody
year?
Yeah, would have been my first. I got 5 wins in Botno, but yeah.
So if somebody can come down here, come to the table, come to the SIBO Motorsports table or Darn TV table, and say Gabe Deschamp, his first championship was the Thunder Mountain Speedway in Botno.
Yep.
You get a Speedway Motors hat
A koozie.
and an all-star shirt, right?
Okay.
The koozie's
Yeah.
yours.
Oh, koozies, Gabe's.
The
Sweet.
koozie's Gabe's. So you come down, Gabe Deschamp's first championship was Thunder Mountain Speedway Botno. You get a hat and a shirt.
Perfect.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that? Are we ready to close it out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Gabe, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. I meant to get with you over Christmas break,
Yeah.
and we never got together.
Yeah, the whole college and leaving for Arizona got in the way.
Everything was kind of, and I was planning on heading down there, and Brock was, and we were just kind of, we didn't do a show for over a month there.
No,
We did a month
it was-
stretch. So,
Yeah.
We're doing the show again next year.
uh,
November and January.
Are you going down south again this
Oh,
fall?
yeah.
Planning
I
on it?
Plan on, yeah. We plan on racing those 3 tracks, and then I think we're going to plan on the Harris Clash. That big 100,000 to win modified will be down in Mississippi.
Yep.
And then Vegas, Arizona. Plan on hitting all those again.
Cool.
So-
Are you going to
So
try to
some
stay
big
for
travel.
both weeks in Kokopah, or only do the one because of college?
As much as I can do. I mean, the rig will be down there, so if I can make it there on the weekends, it's going to be.
Because I heard they moved it back a week this year, or
Oh,
moved it
really?
forward a week. Forward a week.
They're going to start, I think it's the 5th, of
Well.
January instead of the 2nd.
I've been making some moves. My only 2 classes in person are Tuesday and Thursday next first semester, so
Oh.
should help a little bit with racing and
Making
Yeah,
moves.
making
moves.
moves.
I don't know when I'm gonna have to fly next semester, but hopefully that helps a little bit.
Well, maybe you
Right.
can just fly down quicker.
I don't think it'd be quicker. Not my little plane.
Well, for Justin Medler joining, thank you for joining us. Jesse Long, thanks for
What-
sticking on the show.
Whatever you do.
Whatever I do. I wasn't listening. I didn't mess. I didn't put one comment on there.
Gabe Deschamp, I'm Brandon Beeter. We're at the 2024 Magic City Car and Trade Show.
Yeah.
Open till 6 p.m. today. You got about an hour and 50 minutes, and then tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. till 4:35-ish. So you'll be able to stop down. We're going to do the drawing tomorrow for the Sport Compact.
Yep.
And
Come
Well,
down for a motivational speech at
come
1
down
p.m.
at 1
Yep.
o'clock for a motivation.
We're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Motivational speaking with Justin Medler.
Yeah. Rockin' Horse at 6.
Rockin' Horse tonight at 6 o'clock. Are you going to partake?
Try to.
Try to?
I think my dad's gonna go. I think we're staying here in mine tonight. So
Oh, it's going to be a good time.
Did
at
the boys
old
come
Rock-
down? Did the boys come down
All-nighter.
from up north?
I don't think. Did the
Yep.
Canadians
Are
come
they
down?
here?
They're here.
They're
oh
here.
boy, we are
Cody's here.
in trouble.
Oh,
Slope is
boy.
here too.
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh, crap.
Okay.